It had been a few months since Arshad had started his new journey with Iman by his side. His life was gradually shifting in ways he hadn't imagined before. He was learning to open his heart to new possibilities, and Iman's friendship was a big part of that healing process. She wasn't pushing him for anything more than what he was ready for, and for that, Arshad was grateful. Things were moving forward for him, and he was finally starting to feel like he was in control of his own life again. His studies were going well, he had grown closer to Iman, and he was slowly rediscovering his sense of purpose. But just when he thought his life was settling into a comfortable rhythm, Nazia unexpectedly reappeared. It was an ordinary afternoon, when Arshad was walking through the university campus, lost in thought about his upcoming exams. He had just finished a study session with Iman, and they were heading to their usual cafe for a quick break. But as he turned a corner, he almost collided with someone. He froze. It was Nazia. She stood before him, looking almost the same as she did the last time he had seen her. Her eyes, those same eyes that had once held so much hope for him, now seemed guarded yet filled with something else. Perhaps regret, perhaps sorrow. Her presence brought an instant rush of emotions for Arshad. The heartache, the rejection, the lingering feelings. It was a whirlwind of everything he had tried to bury. "Nazia," Arshad said, his voice quiet but steady. "What are you doing here?" She hesitated for a moment before replying, her voice soft. "I came to talk to you, Arshad. I know it's been a while, but I've been thinking a lot about everything." Arshad didn't know what to say. He had spent so much time trying to forget about her, and now here she was, standing right in front of him, wanting to talk. His heart was torn between the past and the present, between the person he used to be and the one he had become. "Talk. About what?" he asked, his voice betraying a hint of confusion and caution. "You told me before that we couldn't be more than friends, Nazia. I respected that, and I've moved on." Nazia looked down at the ground for a moment, her eyes flickering with emotion. "I know, and I'm sorry for how I handled things. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I was confused, Arshad. I didn't know what I wanted back then. And now I realize that I've made a huge mistake." Arshad felt a lump form in his throat. The words she was saying didn't make sense. Why was she telling him this now? What had changed in her? Had she really come to him because she missed him, or was this just another attempt to ease her guilt? "I don't know if I can just forget everything, Nazia," Arshad replied, his voice quiet but firm. "It's not easy to just undo what happened. You broke my heart, and I can't just pretend like nothing happened." Nazia's face softened, and her eyes filled with tears. "I know, and I regret it every day. I wasn't fair to you, Arshad. I pushed you away when all you ever did was care for me. I realize now that I was too caught up in myself to see what we could have had." For a moment, they stood there in silence, the air thick with unspoken emotions. Arshad's heart was racing, his mind a whirl of conflicting thoughts. Part of him wanted to scream at her, to tell her how much she had hurt him, but another part of him, the part that still cared for her, wanted to hear her out. "I just don't know if I can go back to that place," Arshad finally said. "I've changed, and I'm not the same person I was when we were friends. I can't keep waiting for something that isn't meant to be." Nazia reached out to him, her voice trembling. "Arshad, I don't expect things to go back to how they were. I'm not asking for that. I just want you to know that I've been thinking about us, about everything I did wrong. I don't want to lose you completely." The raw honesty in her words made Arshad's heart ache, but he couldn't ignore the truth that he had found in Iman's friendship, in his own journey of healing. He had learned to appreciate the person he was becoming, someone who wasn't defined by the past. "I'm sorry, Nazia," Arshad said softly. "I can't go back. I've found peace with where I am now, and I don't think we can pick up where we left off." Nazia's eyes filled with tears, but she nodded. "I understand. I just wanted you to know how sorry I am. I hope one day you can forgive me." Arshad gave a small, sad smile. "I've already forgiven you, Nazia, but I have to move on with my life now." As she turned and walked away, Arshad stood there, feeling a strange mix of relief and sadness. It was finally over. The chapter he had spent so long holding on to had closed for good. And in that moment, he realized that it was time to fully embrace the new life he had started. With Iman, with his friends, and most importantly, with himself.